Hello everyone and welcome to WGBS TV Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. My name's Steve Eunice. In this, our March 6, 2018 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics including the health and viability of Henry Cavill. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that's been revealed from both Batman v Superman and Justice League. We're going to talk about Krypton and everything that's happening with that upcoming TV series and so much more. We'll also be turning to you to take your questions and comments on any particular Superman topic you would like to discuss. And to let you know how all that works, let me introduce you to my co-host, the best in the business, the Prince of Podcasts, Michael Bailey. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Steve. Now, if you're watching this live, you're either doing it via our Facebook page or directly on our website. It's live across the internet and therefore around the planet Houston. We'd love to hear from Superman fans right across the world. So to call in and talk to us tonight, you need to use Skype. Open up Skype, search for Superman Homepage, and send us a message saying you'd like to chat with us live tonight. And we'll try to get you in on the second half hour of our show.
Yes, and now for those of you tuning in live via Facebook to watch tonight's show, below that video we invite you to join in and chat with fellow fans, post your comments, ask questions. Michael and I will keep an eye on those comments throughout the show, so get involved. And a huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Tina Murray, Patrick O'Neill, Stephen Wright and Henry Bernstein. Thank you for your support. Well, how you been, Mike? How's the week that's been just flew by, but how's that been for you guys in your neck of the woods?
Oh, the weather's still crazy, and I've come to the conclusion that comic shops across the world are doing their best to drive me into the poorhouse by revealing all of these Action Comics variants that we're going to be talking about a little later. So it's like every day a new one pops up, and I'm like, heck, guys, I got bills to pay. I can't be buying all this.
Indeed. Well, we'll get to those quite soon, but people are already going nuts in the comments about who dies, what died, what happened, and well, let's get straight into it. Henry Cavill posted this image on his Instagram account, very perplexed looking, saying that supposedly he had died. And according to Wikipedia, the page on his profile stated that he had passed away on March 3rd. Whoops! What have I done there? Press the wrong button. That didn't take place quick enough for Henry Cavill, who saw it and was alerted to it, and unfortunately was claimed to be dead, but he's not. He's alive and well.
Yeah, I saw all this, and I was just kind of perplexed, actually, more than anything else. That I know death hoaxes are kind of a thing. Seems like every once in a while on Facebook, there'll be a thing like, such and such died, this celebrity died. And sometimes because of that, when a celebrity actually dies, like in the case of Paul Walker several years ago, it makes people actually doubt that they've actually passed away. But, seems like Henry's taking it in good humor. I love that look of perplexed on him, on his face here. I think he's probably one of the most down-to-earth celebrities out there right now. So, it's just kind of funny that he would do this at all.
Yeah, it is pretty funny, and good to see that Henry is got a sense of humor. So, it's good to see that he's, just poking fun at it. He's happy to go along with it, and the Wikipedia page has been fixed up, and he is alive and well. I'm just having a few technical issues trying to get this graphic so I can go back to us on video. So anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Hopefully that clears up in a moment. There we go. I've got Michael on, and there I am, and there we both are. So there we go.
Henry in the flash chat asks, "Well, now that he's back from the dead, will he be in the black suit?" I think that's a fair question.
Well, talking about costumes, somebody in the chat room saying, "Hey, Steve, how come you're not wearing a Superman shirt tonight?" I actually am. It's a Rabbitohs South Sydney jersey that's got the Superman emblem on it as well. So that's what I'm wearing. It's just a little bit lower than usual on a T-shirt because of the other emblems that are up here on this jersey. But it's a rugby league jersey here in Australia. It's the team that I follow is the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and they came out with a number of different Superman jerseys over the last couple of years since Man of Steel, with Russell Crowe owning the team, a part owner in the team. He brought in that promotion, so it is a Superman shirt. It's just a little bit lower, the emblem, than you can see on the camera. All right, well, let's move forward. Now that we know that Henry Cavill is alive and well, let's move into some of the stuff that we've heard about the concept art. Just move off Henry there. The concept art for, let's start with Justice League. This concept image was posted by the artist, I'm just trying to get to his name here, Robert McKinnon. He shared this image on his website showing what appears to be Lex Luthor in his jail cell in prison, contemplating his next move, I guess. And we don't know whether that was an intended scene, something that was in the script, something that was just in the ideas of this artist to create what that might look like, but perhaps they had more involvement from Lex in early concept designs and early concept story ideas for the movie.
Kind of looks like Lex Luthor's playing The Sims right now. With the, I mean, I know because it's computer graphics and all that, and that's how they do concept art now. I am not overly upset that they kind of sidelined Lex for the Justice League film. Things seem to be getting, I don't know if you've kind of gotten this, things seem to be getting a little ugly on Twitter especially, and Instagram, and it seems that Zack Snyder's kind of trying to start some stuff. But this is a fine piece of art. It would have been neat to see kind of the what do you call that, deleted scenes of Lex, just to see what they had in mind. But eventually he has to escape, so you got that too.
Yeah, well, we did see him at the end of the film, at the end of the very end of the credits, where he had already escaped from prison at that point, and but this obviously was a scene where they may have had him still in prison some way through the movie. But yeah, there does seem to be a lot going on behind the scenes with some snarky comments or some fun being poked, or maybe there's some ill feelings from some quarters as to the way the film ended up, the way it was received, to different directors. That kind of stuff can kind of happen, but and it could just be fans reading into stuff. I think the idea of this kind of, maybe where you're coming from, was Zack Snyder posted on his Vero account a photo of him saying, I think it's time to get rid of this moustache, maybe I should shave it. And I don't know if that was intended to be having a go at the Justice League movie with the Henry Cavill thing with the moustache there, or if it's just him just talking in general about time need to shave, about got a new look. But people are reading into it, and I guess different opinions will always vary on whether or not it is an attack on Justice League.
Yeah, but wasn't there also that thing of him, and maybe this is totally unrelated to anything going on with it, but it was like a shot of Henry in the Superman costume and a shot of cut on his thumb. And some people took that to him saying, you know, a cut scene with Henry, or his thing was cut, or whatever. So, I mean, that it's, you know, much ado about on the internet are, but we're still seeing the after effects of the fighting. It's never going to end.
That's so true. Yes, it goes on. And there was more concept art released from the same artist. He released this Batman v Superman Metallo concept art. Now, the speculation is that maybe Metallo was an extra villain in the film. Maybe he was a villain that was going to be in place of Doomsday. Maybe, you know, Lex creates, you know, Zod as a Metallo type thing. I don't know, but it's a concept art, again, by Robert McKinnon, who worked on the concept designs for this film as well. And it's an interesting look at a different type of Metallo.
Well, there were the rumors that Metallo was going to be the villain of the piece before Chris Terrio came on board, and it seemed like the project took on a completely different atmosphere. So my gut feeling is that in the original cut, it was going to be Superman at some point fighting Metallo. That's one goofy-looking Metallo, though. I am not quite sure what's going on. He's got a jet engine strapped to his back. He's got... Did you ever see the movie The Mask?
Yes.
With Jim Carrey when he brings out all the guns? It kind of looks like that. I mean, it's just... I'm sure it would have looked fine in the final result, but it looks like a gamer's gone completely crazy.
Now, it's interesting if you look at the bottom corner here, the DC logo. When did that change to the current one? Because that might be a bit of a giveaway as far as how far back this design was created.
That was like right before the movie came out, or right after, because that was when Rebirth, that was like the logo that was in place for Rebirth, I think.
Okay.
So that would have been like May-ish, and this came out March of 2016. So yeah, it makes sense that the folded back DC logo would have been what they would have had on this concept art.
Yeah, so that was a piece of concept art, and along with that same story, Zack Snyder confirmed a bit of a fan theory about the smoke bomb that Batman uses during their roof confrontation with Superman in Batman v Superman, that it was a lead-based smoke bomb, and that's why when it was deployed, Henry goes through the smoke bomb and surprised not to see Batman behind it. I'm guessing because he couldn't actually see through the smoke the way it was deployed, so that it's blocks his X-ray vision.
Yeah, I read that. I was like, okay, that's interesting. I'm glad that they actually put the thought into having, the thing had lead in it. I took that scene as just Superman's not in his right mind, so he's rushing headlong into the unknown and is just surprised because he didn't think to use his X-ray vision a couple seconds ago and Batman's not there. I mean, either way it works. I do like the fact, though, that there elsewhere in the film, especially that close-up of the charge that had the chemical symbol for lead on it. So
yeah, interesting. Well, let's have a look at that scene so that to jog everyone's memory just about where that was deployed.
You be dead already.
The smoke bomb used by Batman, that was obviously lead-based.
I always like the way the cape looks right after he's done sliding through the smoke. It's very comic bookish of how it furls out behind him. That's one of the few positive things I'll say about the movie.
All right, so and Zack Snyder went on to say that supposedly in his estimation, and possibly in an extended scene or an extended sequence, Bruce Wayne was experimenting with the use of lead after finding information amongst Lex Luthor's files. So that kind of makes sense and speaks to that scene right there.
Release a 3-hour cut of that film. How many more deleted scenes does it have?
Yeah, indeed. All right, well, let's leave that behind there and move forward. And a bit of interesting non-Superman movie news. We've got Steven Spielberg's new film, Ready Player One, about to be released later this month. And in this film, as we see in a new trailer that was released, there's a key moment in the film in which the virtual character operated by Wade one of the main characters has to take up a disguise from Samantha, another character, where he just has to disguise himself as Clark Kent. And in the film, we actually hear the iconic music from John Williams' Superman the movie theme. Let's have a look at that trailer now. I'll try to forward it through to the scene, because it's a pretty long trailer, where the Clark Kent starts.
This is...
Okay, here. Clark Kent.
I'm not wearing it.
Interesting little kind of tribute to Superman the movie thrown in there by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, and you know, if you're gonna have a little bit of John Williams, Steven Spielberg has worked with him on numerous occasions, so that kind of makes... Alan Silvestri is doing the music for this movie, which again, you know, given that he did Back to the Future, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, indeed. So yes, it's an actual movie trailer. It's called Ready Player One. It comes out on March 29th, and Steven Spielberg's new film. It's based on a best-selling novel by Ernest Cline, and it's a supposedly worldwide phenomenon, that novel. The film is set in 2045 with the world on the brink of chaos and collapse, but the people have found salvation in the oasis, an expansive virtual reality universe created by the brilliant and eccentric James Halliday. So it's more of a description there, but check out the trailer. Check out the movie Ready Player One by Steven Spielberg. Is this something you might go see, Mike?
I'll probably see it at home. I mean, it looks interesting. I know a lot of people who loved the novel and want to and are very looking forward to this and think Spielberg's the perfect person for it. But I'm just like, looks good. But I don't know if it's pay 20.
Yeah, no, fair enough at that. All right, let's to TV news, and we look at the sci-fi series Krypton, which is not far away, and the cast and some of the crew, or some of the producers of Krypton, will be appearing at WonderCon in Anaheim on March 21st, I think it is. Well, that's when the series premieres, March 21st, so it's only just the end of this month. But we've got... the stars from Krypton are scheduled to appear there: Cameron Cuff, Georgina Campbell, Sean Sipos, along with executive producer Cameron Welsh and DC Entertainment's Dan Evans. They'll be signing autographs, and there's a special video presentation with a Q&A afterwards. scheduled for Saturday, March 24th at 2 p.m. So if you're headed to WonderCon in Anaheim, then you're a very lucky person. You'll be able to see some footage from Krypton well before anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, they're really ramping up for this. I know they've got some books out now, so I think we're about to get the promotion for this show.
Yeah. Now, we have frozen a couple of times during this live video broadcast. We apologise for that. Sometimes internet, Facebook, our own connections can be a little bit flaky, but we're pushing on, and hopefully it doesn't freeze too much and everybody can continue to watch without too many dramas. But so that's Krypton, at Anaheim WonderCon, and also from Krypton, where we've got a new TV spot. It's called The Hourglass, but it basically confirms my suspicions about the Superman cape in this series being similar to the Back to the Future photograph where Marty McFly's brother and sister and himself are fading away. The further away the timeline goes from being where it should be. And I guess the similar things here, if Sejel doesn't manage to do what he's supposed to do to save the future and allow Krypton to be destroyed, then Superman will not exist, and therefore the cape that was brought back in time by Adam Strange will start to disappear and unravel, as we see in this particular trailer, which I will play for you right now. Let's see where it is. Thought I had it uploaded here. Looks like I might need to bring it in, which I can do. But Michael, what do you think of this concept?
I think there's a certain level of irony that Mark McClure was in the picture that was disappearing in Back to the Future. No, that's. I think it's a good visual for showing, how, to develop the tension of, are they actually going to do this, or is it going to create another timeline where Superman didn't exist and is Brainiac going to win? Plus, it's an iconic piece of Superman, his cape, which looks like it has a yellow S on the back of it, which I will thrill some and others won't care. I don't think it's like the trunks. I don't think that's a deal breaker for as many people, but I think it's a good visual.
Yeah. All right, well, let's bring in that trailer right now and have a look at it.
This belongs to your grandson. It's like an hourglass. When this cape's gone, our time is up, and Superman will be wiped from existence.
That's the TV spot that I was talking about. So an interesting little, thing that they've got going there with the cape, and how it's a key indicator for whether or not the future is on track for the way it should be. And we'll wait and see how it all works out when Krypton premieres on at 10 p.m. on March 21st on Sci-Fi. Looking forward to it. Everything I've seen and read about it so far has me really jazzed for this TV series.
Yeah, and I also kind of like the threads of time, seeing a thread disappear. It just, I'm looking forward to this show as well. It'll give us something else to talk about, especially now that Supergirl's still not on the air.
That's right, we're waiting for Supergirl to come back, and at the moment DC Legends of Tomorrow has taken its time slot for a couple more weeks. But talking about Supergirl, there's a new statue coming out from Icon Heroes. The statue features Melissa Benoist as Kara Zor-El, sculpted in a dynamic flying pose. It measures about 11 inches tall, and I will bring that image in for you right now. I'll just take off that one there and show you the Supergirl statue, which again I haven't brought up there, but here we go. That's what the statue looks like. So dynamic pose there, her in flight, fist in the air. And there's a couple of different angles that I can bring in here to show you. So that's the Supergirl statue from Icon Heroes.
I think the S particularly pops out on the statue, maybe a little more so than even on the show. But the kind of yellow outline of the S symbol really just shows nicely on this statue. It's an attractive statue.
Yeah, it's $65, so it won't break the bank too badly. It is available through our website, so if you want to click on it, on that link, on news item at our website, $65, a polystone statue, hand-painted, individually numbered, and includes a certificate of authenticity. So head to our website now to purchase this nice-looking Supergirl statue from Icon Heroes.
Yeah, and Tina in the Flash chat points out that Supergirl is a character, a pretty big character in Injustice 2.
Yes.
Which I have not purchased yet because I'm waiting for that to go cheap.
Yeah, it's Supergirl has arrived in that story at the moment, and has been a bit of a secret weapon, and big things are happening with her at the moment in Injustice 2. Now, talking about Warner Brothers Television, talking about DC Entertainment, they've combined their efforts to head to South by Southwest, or otherwise abbreviated to SXSW. It's a superhero experience and pop-up shop that they've got there in conjunction with that conventioning happening in Austin, Texas. And they've got, the Krypton TV series there. They've been promoting Superman's 80th anniversary and Action Comics 1000. There's Batmobiles on display. There's signings and appearances by some key people, not just from the TV series, but also comic book artists and writers. There's merchandise. There's an epic billboard display of both Superman and Batman by Jim Lee. Free Jitters coffee, if you're not familiar with the Flash TV series and in the Arrowverse, and Jitters is something that you're familiar with. And there's a lot of other stuff happening. It's open from March 9th to March 18th from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily, and can be found at 717 Red River Street in Austin, Texas.
That's pretty elaborate for a lead up to a convention. But still, I mean, any place to get some cool swag, that's good by me.
Yeah, it's indeed a good concept, being able to pop these things up at South by Southwest. And the schedule of signings, as I mentioned, they've got guys like Frank Miller, Brian Michael Bendis, Jim Lee, Dan Jurgens, all attending on March 10th and March 11th. The schedule's up on our website. Those guys have got different signing sessions. You can go up, get stuff registered, signed, but you have to pre-register on Eventbrite, and all the details on how to do that are up on our website now. South by Southwest, DC Comics. Get involved, head there if you're around the area. If you are in the area, then let us know, because we have an opportunity from DC Comics to send someone to a special panel, and would love to have someone there on behalf of the Superman homepage. We don't actually have anybody that I know of in around the Austin, Texas area amongst our staff. So if you are watching this and you're going to be there or are intending to go there, then please let me know. Email me at steve@supermanhomepage.com, and we'll make things happen.
Yeah, Texas is Austin's probably a 3 days for me, so otherwise I'd love to do it.
Oh my God, 3 days! Yeah, well, it's almost 3 days flying for me. No, probably not, but it's not close at all. For either of us. So there is that. So if anybody's in the Texas area, then let us know, and we'd love to hear from you so we can get involved. But part of the South by Southwest promotions this year is the Action Comics 1000 poster, and DC Comics promoted a new video to advertise this upcoming poster that has 1000 comic book covers of from number 1 right through to number 1000 of the standard Action Comics covers, and this poster is massive. And here is the video that they released promoting this particular this poster. Here it goes. pretty cool video just going through some of the covers and, kind of spiraling through them so that we can get a sense of just the depth of attention to detail of these covers that are in this massive poster at a very small size, but nevertheless they're all there together.
I'm fascinated by the fact that all of the Action Comics weeklies are going to be there, considering Superman really wasn't on the cover all that much during that era. But then again, you have, like, during New Krypton, when he wasn't on the cover really at all, for like almost a year or so. But still, I'm planning on getting that. I actually went ahead and ordered a poster of Action Comics #1 that's the same size, and I'm going to put them side by side over my comics. I've got one up here. Because I think, so...
you can see just the corner of it. There's a little man running away.
Yeah, you can... I'm trying to get the background of my thing to look a little better, too. You can kind of sneak a peek at the Superman #1 poster. And there's a promo poster from Superman the Man of Steel from the 90s. Up there, so maybe I'll position the thing a little different next week, and you'll get to see more.
I've got that poster somewhere. That one you've got in the top corner of your top, near your left hand, near your left ear. That one up the top there. Where is that, like that dark swooping down?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite covers from that era.
Yeah.
So
cool.
And I picked it up really cheap. So.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back on the flip side to talk about all the Action Comic 1000 variants that are out there. There are more than just the decades ones that we've been hearing about. There are all these exclusive ones that are coming out at particular comic book stores. So we're going to come back in a second and talk about those right after these messages.
Up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer. I'm the voice of Superman in Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
Just try one. If you don't like it, it's easy to give up.
Uh-oh, nicotine. I'd better move fast. Up and away!
Go on, kid, go on.
Superman, is it hard to give up smoking, or is it easy like nicotine says?
You no-good windbag, nicotine.
No, Superman. Leave me one. Please, I need one. Just...
That's how hard it is. And that's why I never say yes to a cigarette.
And we're back on Radio KL Live, WGBS TV Live. So easy to fall back into old habits. But as I mentioned before the break, we're going to be talking about some of these Action Comics 1000 variants, and there are a lot of them out there we're hearing. There are 3 more that I know of that we haven't heard of yet, or seen of yet. Jason Fabot is doing a variant cover for Yesteryear Comics. That's the only comic book store where you'll be able to get it from. They are selling it on eBay. Just let me bring up the graphic for it here. Jason Fabot's comic cover right there. Just a great image there of Superman floating in the sky amongst the clouds, birds around him. Just amazing, really cool. And he looks, that image is very impressive. Superman looks really good there.
Yeah, I love the 3D detailing on the boots and the S symbol. It's just it really seems like DC is just embracing the fact that they brought back the trunks, because they keep just releasing these epic images of them. And that's just, like you said, with the birds and everything. Again, expensive.
Yeah, Yesteryear Comics, selling it through their eBay account. If you want some information on that, head to Yesteryear Comics for further details. And what else do we have? We have another one from, I'm going to mispronounce the first name. I think it's Carr Andrews. Let's have a look at this image right now. It's right there. It's Superman and Lois Lane embracing again, floating up in the air in the sky. Another great image, another great cover. This one's from Third Eye Comics, which has the cover available to order through its website.
Yeah, this is a nice one simply because it really just kind of, it's one of the more romantic shots of the two of them. And I love the fact that it's in the sky and everything like that. So, again, this is kind of celebrating their relationship because it's her 80th anniversary and birthday as well as his. So,
yeah, makes
perfect sense.
And then we have, I'm not really sold on this one, but it's from George Perez. It's another exclusive. This one from Summit Comics and Games, which has 2,500 copies available via their Facebook page. This one doesn't do anything for me.
It's a weird one for it to be George Perez. That face is, the body is fine, but that face is really weird. I am not sure what's going on there. But, it's like the costume's great.
Yep.
But it looks like they got the stunt double to do the shot and not the actual guy.
Yeah, it does look like that way. And so that's from Summit Comics and Games. Now, I do know that there is going to be one from Uncanny Comic Shop. There's going to be another one from Midtown Comics, of course, in New York. And BuyMeToys.com. It will also have one. None of those three have yet revealed the image. I've contacted all three, and they've told me that when they get the image from the artist, they will display it and try to let us know, and we will let you know. So more exclusive comic book covers for Action Comics 1000 coming from different comic book stores all around the US. And I'm guessing if you buy the digital version that you'll probably get all of them. So you'll probably be scanning through a multitude of covers before you actually get to the story.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to the digital copy just to see how they're going to do all the variants. You're right. It'll probably be like 15 pages of covers. Or maybe they'll just put them all in the back of I say the back. There is no back. It's digital. At the end, yeah, there you go. So maybe it'll all be there.
Yeah,
so I'd be happy with that too.
So April 18th is the release of Action Comics 1000, the landmark issue that will mark Superman's 80-year run. And then we had some information from Brian Michael Bendis, who attended Emerald City Comic Con last weekend, where he spoke at length at a panel about his ideas for Superman, what he's aiming to do. He spoke with interest about the whole truth, justice, and the American way adage, which he says helped inspire him to take on the Man of Steel. He says here, truth is under siege in our society today. Justice, we see it every day on video. Justice is not being handed out to everybody. The American dream that is also under siege. These things that seemed cliche just 5 years ago are now damn well worth fighting for. What do you make of these comments?
I think he's saying all the right things. He said something similar on the Word Balloon interview that he did a couple of weeks ago. And it just seems like he's wanting to kind of explore Superman in a way that I don't think Superman's been explored. I mean, they try to do of him has been largely just not really gone into all that much. So having the idea that the fundamental aspects of what Superman stands for this is a terrible idea. Let's not do this. There's nothing against the man personally, but it's so different from the stuff we were getting from John Romita Jr. right before the Truth storyline, where it was all about, we're just changing everything and we're doing this and we're doing that. No, it's just like, no, Bendis is all about let's embrace everything that Superman is all about.
Now, while there at the panel, a fan asked Bendis about his thoughts on which was the true identity, Clark Kent or Superman. And he said, it's a very good question. What I am fascinated by, out of all the things in the world he could do, he chose to be a reporter. He didn't have to have any secret identity. I think the reason he chose a reporter is because it's the one thing he can do to serve justice that he can't do as Superman. He can reveal truth. That's Clark's job. And he also added that he's going to be exploring Clark Kent as an investigative reporter, which is good. I'm looking forward to seeing that side of the story.
Yeah, and if I'm remembering correctly, Bendis was a reporter at one point, or he wrote for a newspaper when he lived in Cleveland. So, and I know another thing he said on that Word Balloon interview was that he's been spending time at one of the Portland newspapers just to kind of get a feel of the place. So I think, if anything, we'll get probably not a truly realistic portrayal of the press, but we'll get a pretty accurate one at the very least.
Yeah, indeed. All right, well, it's time to try to bring in our first caller in this new format. We had Scotty V on last week, a third head in the window. Let's bring in, for the first time on Skype, Mark Lax. I'm just going to try to call him now to bring him in on the video, and hopefully it looks like it's working. And see if we can get Mark. It's calling him now. Hopefully Mark answers quickly and we can talk about Action Comics 998. I just need you to mute your video on the screen, Mark. Yeah, there we go. And let me bring in, let's see if I can bring in Mark on the window. Can you hear him, Michael?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mark. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody else could, but I haven't got you on a video at the moment, but we've got you as an audio caller, which is just as good.
Okay.
I just wanted to talk to you about
didn't shave anyways.
Yeah, no problem. Action Comics 998. What did you make of this particular issue, the conclusion to the Booster Shot story?
Well, to be honest, I didn't get to read this one this week. I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah, no problem. It's to me it was a fantastic issue. Seeing the conclusion of this story, our reviewer Mario Benici on the website gave it a 4 out of 5 rating, saying that everything is tied up nicely. We get some verification on Jor-El's altered history. There's a lot to love, even though it was a relatively quick read. Michael, have you got around to reading this particular issue of Action Comics?
Yeah, I thought the story wrapped up well. Having it be that it was Jor-El, and it was like the for reals Jor-El, and not an alternate history or a construct created by the ultimate villain of the whole Doomsday Clock thing. I thought, I'll agree with you that it wrapped up a little quickly, but it was a really satisfying story, and there were some neat comedy beats at the end of Superman having to be there when Booster explained to Flash and all that, and the whole thing with Lois and her father was also very nice. I love that he's just like, you brought your son because he doesn't know about John, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting issue, but overall, Mark, we haven't spoken to you in a couple of weeks. The comics are still living up to your expectations?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I know about the Jor-El thing. I still don't know if I'm thrilled about that. That it is Jor-El. I mean, you had mentioned before how with Supergirl they made Zor-El the bad guy too. And I don't know. I just we'll see what happens. I'm really waiting for Bendis' stuff. I'm really excited about it. Can't wait for 1000. Like Mike said, he's been saying a lot of stuff that I think we want to hear. And I think he's going to, all the stuff going forward looks very interesting. Looks exciting, actually. I really can't wait for it.
Now, we look ahead this week to a number of great comic books that are coming out. We have, let me just grab up the graphics here so we can talk about them. We've just turn off that Action Comics 998 one. We've got Superman number 42, which is available in a variant cover and is the beginning of the Bizarro Re-Death storyline. Superman number 42. This one, I think, is going to do our brains in as far as with all the Bizarro talk.
Yeah, I hope there's not a lot of the backwards Bizarro talk, although you got to admit that is fun. I mean, it's not, it's not Superman without a Bizarro story with Bizarro, me Bizarro, me, I hate you, when all that kind of stuff. So.
And then we have Justice League number 40, which is available in a variant cover as well. Both pretty interesting covers. The one on the left there, the standard cover, is a very classic feel to it with the heads on either side of the cover.
Yeah, I like that old-fashioned Justice League framing of the two things. I do want to say one thing though about the Superman cover. Crypto wearing glasses is so funny that I really don't even know how to do. It's so brilliant of a little artistic trick that I can't. That whole cover though, with the whole American Gothic takeoff and the barn on fire behind them, but yeah, the Justice League one's pretty cool too. I like the guys going after each other.
Then we move on to Batman. Superman is appearing in Batman number 42, as you can see on the standard cover there, with Wonder Woman and the other members of the Justice League. That is out this week as well. And then we're talking about Injustice. Well, Injustice 2 number 21, the print edition, is also out this week there. And then we've got a couple of trade paperbacks and hardcovers. We've got Justice League Power and Glory trade paperback, and we've got Super Sons Volume 2 trade paperback, and we've also got World's Finest Volume 2, The Silver Age, out as well this week.
Looks like a really good week of purchases. It's one of the heavy Superman weeks, I guess.
Yeah, indeed.
Wasn't Doomsday Clock not back again till... Yeah, or not this month. I thought it was February.
It's issue number 4 comes out March 28th, looking at my schedule here. Oh. So it will be the last week of this month that the 4th issue of Doomsday Clock comes out. So we're looking forward to that one. But, yeah, anything else you wanted to talk with us about tonight, Mark, before we let you go?
Well, I just wanted to say hello. I haven't tried the Skype thing, so I just really wanted to make sure it worked for another time to call in. Sorry I didn't read the issue this week.
No dramas. That's fine. I'm just glad that we got to get you on and that it worked in this format. And as people can now see, you don't have to have a video of yourself. You can just be an audio caller, as Mark is doing now. But if you're brave enough and you're wearing clothing enough that's suitable, then we'd love to have you on as a video caller as well. We'll just have to vet you out first and make sure everything's cool before we get you on screen.
Did I not press the right button or something to get on video? Or?
No, it just didn't come up. I've just got your logo there of yourself rather than the video. But it's a strange one. I'm not sure why that didn't work out, but good to have you on anyway. And thanks for calling in to WGBS TV live for the first time.
All right, guys, take care.
Talk to you soon. Bye, Mark.
Yep. Bye.
That was Mark Lax. Just trying to figure out how we hang up on that particular caller, but maybe on your end, Mark, you can just hang it up, because if I press hang up, I might press the wrong thing and hang up on Michael. There we go. So, we'll iron those kinks out as well as we move along. But as we head towards the end of our show, we've got just under 10 minutes left. I wanted to revisit the ice cream story. As we've been talking about for the last week or so, the Eddie's and Drea's Ice Cream have released a range of superhero ice creams. There's Superman Krypton Cookie Dough, Batman Dark Knight Brownie Bite, and Wonder Woman Gold Lasso 12 flavours. And the companies have released a new website for these ice creams, superheroicecream.com. Now, they've launched this website for the new flavours. There's 4 comic books from each flavour to collect, so collect all 12. They have exclusive adventures featuring Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. And they also released this little video for the promotion, which I will play for you now.
No, but there's one more store that I need to look at. It's not at Walmart and it's not at Publix, so I'm hoping that Kroger is carrying it, and I'll be going by there probably tomorrow just to see. Yeah, Jamie Rigel of who one of the biggest Superman fans in the world was not impressed with the Superman ice cream. So that was interesting. Yeah.
Packages themselves.
People are saying they can't hear you. That's very odd because I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. Let me just check that I haven't muted myself.
No, I'm
Okay, that's weird.
Okay.
What about now?
Seems like it's working now.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, I can hear you on my video, so...
Okay, well, hopefully that's...
Okay, there we go.
Okay, they can hear you okay. No, okay, now they can. Alright, so Mike is back. Hopefully I'm back as well. Let's see what happens. But anyway, let's move on to the tomorrow's release of back issue number 104. It's out on May 9th, but they're taking pre-orders for the magazine now, and this particular issue covers the Fourth World After Kirby issue. It's exploring the enduring legacy of Jack Kirby's DC characters, and the reason I mention it is because there is a Darkseid featurette on the character of Darkseid by James Lance, who's one of the Superman homepage reviewers and writers, and he has got an article in this particular issue of the magazine where he's got some quotes from Dan Jurgens in an interview he did with him, and so I'm glad to see that James is getting work in the comic book industry writing for this particular tomorrow's publication.
Oh, cool. That'd be the second Superman homepage person that has had an article in back issue.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So thought I had the cover there, which I don't. So I can quickly grab that and post that up on the screen for you now. That shows you James Lance's page there on Darkseid. As you can see, his name up there in the right-hand corner. So that's the cover for the article, and then here is the cover for the actual magazine, which shows you the artwork there by Jack Kirby. So that's coming out in May, but is available for pre-order now. And that pretty much brings us to the end of our topics for tonight's program. I did want to mention the Super Trivia Quiz from the Superman homepage has been updated for another month, and there are 3 questions there for you for the month of March to try your hand at. See if you can answer all 3 questions at the Superman homepage Super Trivia Quiz, which you will find under the favourites menu. So get involved in this month's Super Trivia Quiz. But that is pretty much it for tonight's show, unless you had anything else you wanted to discuss, Mike?
No, I'm just kind of... the article that James wrote, a look into the mind of Darkseid, it sounds like he's actually sat down with Darkseid to have...
All right, well, that is it, pretty much it for tonight's program. I wanted to thank everyone who tuned in to watch us tonight. And a huge thank you to everyone in the comments that participated in tonight's program, and to Mark, who called in to chat with us tonight. And a big thank you to you, my co-host, Michael Bailey. Thanks, Mike.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
And a huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Tina Murray, Patrick O'Neill, Stephen Wright and Henry Bernstein. If you want to sponsor the Superman homepage, then head to patreon.com/Superman homepage and get involved. Now, the complete 1-hour video of tonight's show will remain available on the Superman homepage website and our Facebook page if you'd like to watch the video back, or perhaps you missed part of the show and you want to tune in and see what you missed out on. You'll be able to do that on the website now. But Michael and I will be back next week on Tuesday, March 13th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another edition of WGBS TV Live. Look forward to talking with you then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for listening or watching WGBS TV Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com.